me, you know this is where I definitely belong. Back in 2015, when I got an opportunity to go on tour, I was hired as a drum tech / driver. But it became very apparent in the first 15 minutes when I met the band that I was the only tech. So I was put in a position where I either had to learn a whole bunch of new tricks really quick, or I was not going anywhere. Long story short, very long story short, very interesting, funny, scary, awesome. Long story short, I learned how to work with some other stuff, and that led to, I mean, my whole life, I tried to play guitar a couple times in my past, and every time I'd do it for a few weeks, and I was sucked, and it hurt my fingers, and I'm terrible, and I'm a drummer, and I can't do this, and I don't think this way, and my fingers don't move like my arms do. But, so I just always gave up on it. And really, you know, looked at it as those are the other guys. I do the drum thing. But I've always loved guitar. I've always loved music. And I have some guitar players that are really near and dear to my soul. So, when I started to get to know the instrument a little, I mean, I was forced. I had no choice but to learn the instrument as a guitar tech. Working for Jamie, I couldn't have been more fortunate. The band that I had to learn under, because there was absolutely no good reason on this planet why they should have to put up with my experience level at the time of my hiring. Because, I mean, Jamie, Glazers, I mean, you're talking Chick Corea, Bryan Adams, Manhattan Transfer, he does so much stuff, it's insane, you know, plus obviously being with Ponte. They were the best people for me to learn under, because they were very patient, very nice people, very understanding, and they took the time to teach me what I needed to know to make their life better on the road. And over the years, I've become, you know, I'd like to think I've become more and more in tune to that as we've gone on, being that they've kept me for the, you know, last 4 or 5 years. Once I got home from tour, I decided I should buy a guitar and get to know this instrument if I'm going to continue to do this work, because I love to travel and get paid good money to do it. So I bought my first guitar, which you will see on one of these sides eventually, and I started to learn how to play a little bit, and it's taken me a long time. It's an arduous process. I got very frustrated for a little while. You know, it's like you start looking at YouTube videos, man, that's a rabbit hole and a half. Yeah, so you start going down those rabbit holes, man, and I just started to get frustrated. Like, that's the other horrible thing, is everybody I hang out with is already an amazing musician, guitar player, bass player, what have you. So I always feel like crap being around them if I even touch a guitar. So yeah, and it's like, you know, you start trying to learn scales and modes and all that shit, and I just started to get really frustrated and overwhelmed. So one day I just said the hell with it, and I'm just going to sit on my bed, and when I feel like it, I'm going to play guitar a little, or I'm going to try. So I've kind of gotten to the point now I can play a little, and I love it. It's awesome. It's taken me a couple of years to get to that point, but I'm learning at my own pace, which keeps it enjoyable. So what I basically take from YouTube is exercises, you know, things to stretch my fingers out, because my ring finger doesn't like to move on its own independently. So I'm like working on all these like different type of stretching things. And see, that ring finger don't like to move. But yeah, so now you know, and then of course I became obsessed, starting to learn the history and some of them, the care and the design into them makes some pieces of art as well in their own right. So. And yeah, and like I wound up picking this one up. I was looking for a Les Paul type, because most of my favorite guitar players are Les Paul guys. And I had my hands on an Epiphone, 2017 Epiphone Burst. And I was like, I don't know. And then I put my hands on this one. And this was an, well, I call it Del Monte, but It was an unbranded early 70s Les Paul. And as soon as I touched the neck, as soon as I sat down like this with it, something about the neck, it fit. So I grabbed it. And, you know, it's fun. It's a neat guitar. And I've been buying stupid guitars and equipment. Yeah, I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff I'll show you all around me probably as the video goes on. Yeah, so I'm trying to rack my brain on what I want to do as far as backline. I want to get more involved in gears. I love the history of guitars, and I'm starting to really appreciate all that and how different ones are made, what kind of woods are used in the process and all that. It's fascinating, especially when you really delve into the histories of specific musicians and instruments. It's just, it's very different than the world of drums in that regard. Like, I'm not like drooling over getting other drum sets. I love my fucking Pearl kit so much that I'm hardly a want for drums right now. Like, I really haven't had this, oh, I gotta get a new kit. It's not like that with drums as opposed to guitar. It's like you see another guitar, I mean maybe it is for some people. I know some hardcore drum collectors. JP from Clutch is a master drum collector. His vintage collection is insane. But it's like, you know, you see guitars and it's just, I don't know, it's like, you know, girlfriends, I guess, you know. We wish we could have and keep as many as we can, I suppose. There's a beauty and there could be an aggressiveness, whatever you want to do. So it's really quite engrossing when it comes down to it. So yeah, I think I'm up to like 7 guitars, and I've been buying them at Amp Farm. You know, Jay's a friend of mine. He fixes my shit because I do stupid stuff to them and I drop them and things like that. So, but the more and more I was trying to figure out what I'm going to do, what's the next project for 2020. You know, a lot of my off time, I'm watching guitar videos on YouTube, like people talking about how they fix things, how they mod things, where they got stuff, how they got stuff, what they like better, what they don't like, because I'm still trying to figure out just which string gauge I should use, which is better for me, which I'm between 9/5s and 10s. So I decided, I thought about what could I do that's more gear. I could be around gear. There's really no big guitar shops too close to here. And then I decided I would build a show around Amp Farm, because every time I'm there, something insane comes in. Case in point, the other day I went and did that little clip because I knew John was picking up his non-reverse Firebird. I went down there, I knew he was going to be there, so I wanted to get some video of him picking up his guitar, talking about what him and Jay had done to it, and then I could ride a little Stargazer Lily coattails and maybe draw in some viewers. And as we were talking, me and John were getting ready to talk, a woman comes in and brings in a 1958 ES 125. Like, insane. Like, beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. Like, guitar, gorgeous. Every day is an adventure over there. So I figured that'd be a good place to start building a show. And I guess a lot of it's going to be funny. It's my learning process, really. You're basically going to be following me along as I learn more and more about this instrument that I've become more and more fascinated with. So all right, I'm roasting some bean. I got to get back to that. And I just figured I'd give people who don't know me, because I'm hoping eventually people that don't know me will watch these shows. Look at that pretty set of drums. Black 89 exports, some white quote-unquote pearls, and all 70 zildjians, except for that little tiny pasty I got somewhere for free. I think I got that from Bodge. Here's the rest of the old white kit. That was my first kit. That I got working for Tom Coombs from Hades. The Todd Jensen, the guy that built his cherry redwood kit, custom kit that he had back in the day. He hooked me up with that set and I bought it. And I'm still using a lot of that stuff. Roaster of the gods. Bring forth great bean. God, I haven't seen this since our first video we did together. Let's see if I get so you can see the signature. Yeah, there we go. That was from the Bitchwax shoot down at School of Rock. Got them to. That was for their local fuzz record. I'll be up to 45. I know. Oh yeah.